guys, what's up? It's me Avi. Today I'm going to show you the software that I use for 3D rendering. I bet you like the name Enigma Studios, so let's get on ahead to the software that I use for 3D rendering. It's called Cinema 4D. I have Cinema 4D R12 Studios, so it doesn't matter which you have, but if you don't have, I recommend you guys to get it. I know you guys, you can get it, you can get it from the internet, so okay, let's get it. Here we are in the basic layout of Cinema 4D. We have the menu bar with our toolbar, we have the attributes bar and also more attributes bar and the materials bar. So today in this tutorial I'll be telling you about 4 basic things, that is spawning a primitive object and applying materials, applying lighting and rendering. So let's get on to the first segment, that is the spawning and primitive object. So as you can see, there's a cube right here. Click and hold this tab right here, you will get a list of primitive objects. You can select whichever one you want, so let's select a sphere. Okay, as you can see, we have spawned a sphere. So that's about it for a basic spawning. And if you select the sphere in this attributes manager, you can see the radius. As we increase the radius, it gets bigger. As we increase the segments, the rotation segments gets more in numbers. So that's about it for today in this spawning segment. So let's get on to the next segment, that is applying materials. So as you can see, there's a material manager here. You can create a new material either by double clicking or going to the file menu and select new material. So as you can see, and if you want to change the settings of the material, double click on the material here. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of options here: diffusion, luminance, transparency, reflection, etc. So in this tutorial I'll be using reflection. So when I checkbox it becomes a perfect mirror. So let me bring down its brightness. So let me bring up to 50%. As you can see, a little bit like a glass. So that's about it for material making for today. So applying material to the sphere. So click and hold the material and drag it onto the sphere like this. So as you can see, it's spawned right here. So it has applied the material here. So that's about it for material segments. So let's get on ahead for lightning, that is the lighting of the studio. So here you can see the arrows pointing out. Click and hold this tab. As you can see, there's a whole lot of lights and cameras, background, floor, etc. Today I'm going to use a basic light setup, so I'll use one light. So as you can see, it turned dark because the light is inside the sphere. So let me bring it to the top by clicking and holding this axis bands right here. This is the X, this is the X-axis, this is the Y-axis and the Z-axis. So let me bring up the Y-axis. So click and hold it. As you can see, we have brought this light up, and as you can see, it has created a shadow right here. So you can place it wherever you want. So that's about it for the basic lighting tutorial for today. And last but not the least, I'll be talking about rendering. As you can see, there's a white clapboard behind, there is a white board, and click and hold this tab, you will get a render settings menu right here. So in the output settings, you can set the resolution for the image or the video that I'm making and frames per second rate. That will be covered in the future tutorials. So I prefer you, when you're using video, I prefer you to use this one right here. It says HDTV/HDTV 720 29.97 frames. So for video that you can use these settings, or if you're using a still image, I recommend you guys to use 1080p, that is the HDTV 1080 29.97 frames. So I use it for still images. So in the save menu, check mark it if you want to save it, and you can save in whichever format you want in the list given below. I recommend you guys to use it PNG or JPEG, or if you are acquainted with Photoshop, you can use TIFF files, PSD files. I'll use PNG, and you can even use alpha channel. Alpha channel basically means there is only an object, there is no background, there's a perfect transparent background right behind it, so you can edit it in different software such as Photoshop, etc. And click on this tab right here. You can select where you want to save it and write the name here, and you can save it wherever you want. So I have saved already, so I no need to save it. So, and you can use the settings, and in the anti-aliasing properties, go to best and max level to 2x2. So that's the best settings that I recommend you guys to use it for video settings. So that's about it for rendering. And if you want to render this object, click on this clapboard right here. It shows the preview here. So if you click it, it renders it. As you can see, it's only visible where the light there. So to redraw, you press A key. It's A alphabet A. So comes, and if you want to save your image file, just click on the clapboard with the orange background. So if you click it, it saves it wherever you have saved in the attributes manager. So that's about it for this segment of rendering, and I will tell you in the segment nifty tricks that I use. So you can see there's 4 icons right here. In the first icon, if you click and move around, you can see the screen moving up and down, right and left. So in the next, you can zoom in or zoom out. So as you can see, zooming in or zooming out. And the last tool is the rotation tool. With this you can actually rotate your screen. As I have selected this light right here, the light is at the stagnant point. If you select sphere will be at the stagnant point right here, see. And the last icon is nothing but the view changer. There's 4 views such as perspective, top, front, right. There is a shortcut for this keys. For perspective, it is F1. For top, it's F2. For right, it's F3, and for front, it's F4. And you can use 1, 2, 3 instead of these 3 keys. So that's about it for today's tutorial, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. So see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.